Hi everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I figured I'd change the scenery around a little today, and well, I just wanted to talk about a revelation I've personally have been receiving. It's not a new concept within how God works and how we see this unfolding in the scriptures and that endless vortex of God's living word. But I just wanted to share my take on it because maybe some do not are not aware of this, and I just wanted to plant some seeds and share what I've just been meditating on, reading scriptures and trying to understand the things I've been uncovering. If you've been following my channel and following, my work, my research, or whatever I've been able to manage, been able to manage to do, well, we see that God foreshadows His plan and His purpose for us throughout history. And not only does He foreshadow it, He repeats it as well. We see this stuff in like the Exodus of Moses to the greater Exodus that's to come. And the foreshadows from the sacrifice of Isaac, foreshadowing the crucifixion of Christ. And so as He foreshadows, eventually He also repeats these things as well, we see. And it just goes on and on. And already in the scriptures, I read the Psalms of Solomon today. And those are obviously prophetic. It's right now it's easy for us to see the things that are pertinent to the times that we're living in, these latter-day times, but these scriptures don't die. Thousands of years, 10,000s, maybe 1,000,000 years from now, the very scriptures we are reading will have yet another purpose. And the people that will be involved in those times, we'll see them doing the very acts that we're doing today, just like sometimes we see each other doing the very acts that are written about from the days of old. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's really cool how God does this. And I think God does this so people would believe. And it also engages us. It keeps us growing, and it makes His word timeless and endless, and in a way that nobody can master it, and yet the simplest child can benefit from it. So, what did I want to say? Sadly, I already think, I did share this in another video, but something the Lord has shown me that, we're going to see the story of Adam and Eve again at some point. And you know what? And after that unfolds, at some later point when we're long gone, we're going to see it unfold again. And now I know we're living in a time where we're at just the height of corruption. And it's kind of unbearable to think that, well, after the millennial reign and after all this stuff, that, we'll be corrupt again. And we might end up starting the cycle over again. I know it's like way ahead of people's thinking. A lot of people don't even want to think of that, but there's evidence of that in the scriptures. And I've never wanted to mention it. I didn't want to be, it's like the last thing you want to talk about right now. But I think, I see it, and I think, while I'm on the topic, Jeremiah 2 is a scary scripture to read. I mean, it's clear as day that that's some kind of future prophecy. It has some element of a future prophecy. One of the dimensions of that scripture is a future prophecy. And it talks about how God's children, who were once God's bride, Okay, we're living in these times today. I don't know, go to idolatry and fortification and all that heathenistic ways, and that's just like, what, you know. And I don't know, are we ever going to see that come to pass, or is that for our children, our children's children, or our children's children's children, etc.? I don't know, but something the Lord showed me is that, like, it's upsetting to think, well, the story of Adam and Eve is going to unfold again, and we're going to be corrupt again, even all that we're going through and all that we're planning in our future, at least in these times. You want to say hi? Okay. and the revelation the Lord showed me was just like, well, if there was no sin, if there was no corruption, if there was no fall of man, then God is dead to us. Then he is not alive to us. And there's no story, there's no learning. And we won't have a God. Everything would just be picture perfect, and there will be no need for God to have a relationship with us. And isn't it better to have an active living relationship with our living Lord than to live an incorruptible, perfect life, So that's something he showed me. And I've shared this before. This isn't new, but I just wanted to repeat it. Because it is kind of heartbreaking to think, like, wait a minute, even after the millennial reign and the kingdom to come, stuff that we can't even conceive of. Hold on, let him pass. Stuff we can't even conceive of, that eventually it'll get corrupt again, and man will fall again eventually at some point in the future. So we just see this pattern in the scriptures and our stories of just God's story. It just keeps repeating and foreshadowing and repeating, and it just lives on and on and on, and it's just really amazing. And then it just makes you think back, well, there had to be a time where it didn't live. I guess in the time of Adam, where there was nothing that repeated itself. There was no scripture to look back on. I don't know. So it makes you wonder what it must have been like for him. And, yeah. I don't know. That's just an apparent truth that I see, that I've woken up to. I know other people out there, it's not a new concept, but I've woken up to it. And it's just something to meditate on and think about. And, yeah, okay. So I hope this is a blessing to you guys. All right, God bless. Thank you for watching. Bye.